All right, a good afternoon to everybody here at WVOF 88.5 FM in Fairfield, Connecticut at 5 minutes after 6 o'clock. Joe Kelley here with another edition of The Upper Room and Christmas in July. Yes, that is the leadoff song. Christmas is coming from our good friend, Mr. Jonathan Moffett from Christmas Again. And Jonathan Moffett is a world-renowned drummer, musician, producer, songwriter who has toured all over the world with some of the greats in the music business, including Cameo and the Jacksons and Madonna. And I'll tell you, we'll talk more about all that great history and, of course, the drummer for the Jacksons and Michael Jackson. And we welcome Jonathan Moffett once again to WVOF in the Upper Room with Joe Kelley. Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just enjoying each day as it comes and loving life and trying to spread the love around the world through my music and to understanding through some of the messages in my music.
Yeah, first off, we wanted to extend our condolences and, of course, our thoughts and prayers to you and all the great family and friends of Michael Jackson. Your little brother passing away, and so we wanted to first off give you those thoughts.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks to all the listeners and everyone who has shown a great love and concern for Michael and his family through this great tragedy. As you can tell, all those connected to a television or radio station, you can tell now people really see how much he was loved and admired and appreciated since his passing, because more than 1 billion people responded to the tragedy and shown love around the world during that very difficult time. And he was the most powerful man on earth. And with the show of that men kind of turned out for him. And I think love is power. You know, his kindness was power. I think the understanding he tried to spread and share with people is power. And that shows what positive things can do and the kind of movement positivity can make around the world. And we need more of that.
Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett is our special guest, and his website, we're going to give you where you can listen to new clips he's been working on, and of course we're playing music from his album Christmas Again, and his website, myspace.com/Jonathan Moffett. You also can go to jonathansugarfootmoffett.com, the Drum Network /Jonathan Moffett. And let me ask you about, you're one of the most, besides your own work, you're one of the most in-demand session players and world travel touring musicians. How about getting the call to work with your brother Michael Jackson once again on this ambitious tour that you were working on? How did that come about?
Well, I'd already known for some time that he had mentioned from people that were working closely with him in the studio that he had on occasion when the touring came up or was mentioned, that he always expressed that if you got to have Foot. Gotta have Foot, and I have to have David Williams, who is his number one guitarist on all of the hits for Off the Wall and Thriller album, and his prime guitar player, David Williams, who unfortunately we lost in February, which is so shocking. Mm-hmm. We lost him, and he played on Billie Jean. He was the guitar voice on Billie Jean, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and all the great hits. And we lost him right before the tour launched, and that was heartbreaking enough. And Michael would be in the studio and would always say, when I go on tour, I have to have Foot. Mm-hmm. Gotta have Foot, and I have to have David Williams. So I knew for about a year before my name had been being passed around the studio that he had expressed that he needed me to do the tour and wanted me to do it. But nothing's real until it's real. So I just lay and wait patiently until the reality came, and I got the call that said that you're activated, it's time. And that call came in mid-April. Mm-hmm. And April 16th, I got a call and said that Michael wants you to do the tour. We're starting, which I knew the buzz had grown throughout the months, but that was the official date that I got a call.
Now, you're still a young cat, but you've been around in the business and, working on a tour like that. You've toured with Michael and his brothers all over these years. How about the new tour that you guys were rehearsing with, as far as your drum setup and arrangements? Were you seeing some new things added that weren't in past Michael tours, music-wise?
Absolutely. Every tour that I do, with Michael and other major artists, I try to make a visual statement with my drums. I design something really special and unique, more like a combination of function and art, sculpture. And I think that the people pay money to see as well as hear when they go to a concert. Otherwise, they can put the CD on at home and be in the comfort of their home and enjoy. So I try to design something that's really visual on stage, and drums being as the biggest instrument on stage and most visible, I always try to design something that's that adds to the production value and makes the drummers out there really excited, as well as the general people who come to see something. When they see my drum sets, they say, "Wow, look at that! You know, it looks like art, you know, but it's functional because I can bang it all night so long, and it doesn't fall down or fall apart, you know." So I try to make the bridge the gap of those worlds of art and function.
Well, I knew. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I designed a special drum set for this tour, you know, something really beautiful. And Michael loved it. He pointed at it at a rehearsal and said, "I want that. I want one just like it." You know, everybody heard it and they were laughing. He said, "Just like that. Don't change a thing. That is beautiful. Can you get me one of those?" And I was like, let's see, maybe, I'll try.
Right.
So I want it. Make it happen. I love it. It should be in the Smithsonian Institute.
Mm-hmm.
It's artistic. So, he loves every tour that I bring something new and fresh and different to his tours. And the show was all new show. It wasn't the same rehash show, from before, from the history tour. We are doing all new things, you know. It was really going to be a magnificent presentation to his fans and the people.
Now, as far, you know, you're a drummer and the rhythm keeper for the band, and for a dancer like Michael, that must be such a great relationship between his movements and everything and yourself. So how did you guys find, you know, initially keeping in tune, and you had something special, and take us through some of the progression to, you know, the last tour?
Well, that's one of the real sad things for me and heartbreaking things for me, aspects of it and viewpoints. For me, everyone else, we lost our motivator, our inspiration, but for me, I lost my dance partner because, you know, he was my dance partner. When I played Billie Jean, and at the end of Billie Jean, it was a breakdown with just the drums, and I get a chance to expose my spirit to him and then motivate him to dance and do the moonwalk and spin around and do all kind of movements, pop-lock movements, and all that beautiful artistic work he would do, sculpture, body sculpture, dance moves he would do. It was just him and me. The stage was dark. It was just him and me together alone. And on Billie Jean, that was our special number. I was my dance partner, and I've lost him, and I can never play that song with him again. I can play it, but it would never be the same because he's gone. The major element of it is gone. So I've lost, you know, I lost my inspiration, my leader. I lost my brother at heart, and I lost my friend.
Wow.
I lost my dance partner.
Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett is our special guest right here, and we're really honored to have him on the show as always. You can let me give you the websites, because he's got a great Christmas album, which we talked about the last time it was on. We're going to play a song right now from that album, and come back and maybe spin a track from Jonathan Moffett playing live with the Jacksons, and talk about a lot of upcoming projects from Jonathan Moffett, his big Soul Tone Cymbals release. And let's see, one of my favorite songs off of Christmas Again is called Merry Christmas to Your Neighbor. And you're working on some new things on this record for a re-release, right?
Yes, I mixed and remastered the whole album, and I made it even more strong to move the soul and the spirit even more than before. So some of the songs that you'll find on the MySpace / Jonathan Moffett are remixed and remastered versions, and is really, really clear and powerful. You can hear the lyrics even better, and you can feel the groove even more. I put a little extra punch in the mix and mastering of it. So it'll be available in about a week's time on CD Baby and iTunes, and I'm trying to get the Christmas holiday season started a little bit early.
Yeah, that's right.
Spirit of things, yeah, it'd be wonderful. It's always a positive time of year, and spirit and love, the only time of year that the whole world joins together, the only holiday that brings the world together in oneness of love, you know. And I think it's beautiful, and the main message is that the Savior had come. So
yeah. I think it's a testament to yourself. I'm looking at some of the players on the record. I mean, your buddy David Williams and Mikhail McKinney from Earth, Wind & Fire, right?
Yeah, Mikhail McKinney, yes. He's the son of Michael McKinney, who was the Jackson's bass player on the tours when I first joined the Jackson. That's his son. And he's a great producer with Interscope Records. He produces a lot of people and writes for them as well. And I knew him since he was first born, a child. And now he's grown up to be a big major producer and songwriter for the industry and following his father's footsteps. And his father and I used to write together as well. We've written for LaToya Jackson and other projects. So yes, I have some really good friends on that record that have done some prominent things, and I'm very happy to how it turned out.
All right, we'll give a listen to this right now. This is called check that. Merry Christmas to Your Neighbor from Jonathan Moffett. Sugarfoot is with us. We'll come back and speak once again with Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett. Merry Christmas to Your Neighbor from Jonathan Moffat's Christmas Again. And we are really pleased and really having a great time talking right now to Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett out in Los Angeles, right?
That's in Los Angeles, correct. Right. Orange County, actually just south of Los Angeles, part of the major metropolitan area.
So we have to ask, going back, people must always be asking you, Sugarfoot, where did you get that name? And I know you come from New Orleans, but give us the brief history of that.
Well, that's kind of funny in that I had just gotten fired from my brother's band. It's my brother's band, right. And I started playing with them when I was like 8 years old. I started playing drums at 6, and started with them at 8 years old. And we were doing parties, dances, and the like, and talent shows and stuff. And then I started working with them at between 9 and 10 in nightclubs, and in New Orleans, kind of looser society. So they would sneak me in the back door, and I played a show, and then fall asleep across their laps, going home. and as long as I got up for school the next morning, it was fine with mother. But I got fired from them because they couldn't play certain clubs that wouldn't allow me in there. Mm-hmm. So I wound up running into some people that had another band around the neighborhood, and it was called the band was called Disciples, and I wound up running into those guys, and everybody in the band had nicknames. Uh-huh. So they said, okay, and I played my bass drum patterns, and I used this quick technique and the bass drum movement. And the leader of the band, Curtis Verrett, said that, oh, he's got a sweet foot, a real sweet foot. I know we call him Sugarfoot. And I said, Sugarfoot, I don't like that name. That's not cool. I need something like Ace or Duke or Titan or Thor or something strong. He said, no, you got that sweet foot. We're going to call you Sugarfoot. So I folded my arms. I said, I'm not answering that. So he said, oh, yes, you are Sugarfoot. And so every show we would play it, he had announced the band members, and then he said, Sugarfoot. And I would like frown and fold my arms, and people would start clapping. And it came throughout the years that I was with them for 3 or 4 years. Everywhere I went, I'd walk down the street in downtown New Orleans, and people would say, hey, Sugarfoot, everywhere I went. And then it hit me one day that, you know what, nobody knows who Jonathan Moffett is. They only know it's Sugarfoot. You have to start acknowledging it. But it basically came from my bass drum technique, which most drummers focus on the speed of hand and the sleight of hand, how fast they can play rolls and different things and intricate. I focused mostly on the bass drum because I wanted to originally be a bass player. So I naturally tended to enhance the bottom end of the beat, which is the bass drum. And I learned how to when I listened to a record, I learned the bass player's part on the bass drum as well as the drum part of the bass drum. And I combined the two, and I learned fast patterns and intricate patterns with it. And that's how I got the name Sugarfoot, because of that.
You're such a well-respected musician and the first call guy for many, and people competing for your services throughout these years. Let me ask you about the NAMM Festival. I know you go out there. Do you try to hit when you're in town each and every one when they come out your way?
Yes, I try to be involved with the NAMM organization and festival, and I go pay the respects to my endorser companies who sponsor me, and they show me love throughout the year in my work and my tours, and I be there for them. I sign autographs, take pictures, and greet people for them, my companies. Yeah, you got a big new cymbal series, right? Yes, I have my own cymbal line that just came out and was just released by Soul Tone Cymbals. And they have given me my full line of cymbals, every aspect of the cymbal setup, and it's titled the Moffett series, and in short for marketing we call it M series. Oh, okay. So they just launched it, and it's very beautiful. I got with the owner and designer Iki Levy, And we put together ideas. I told him what I was looking for in a cymbal, and I've always wanted in a cymbal sound, but like bright, crystalline sound. I want it to sound like champagne glasses shattering when they hit the floor against the dark sound of the drums. And then we tried a few combinations of things and different types of sonics on cymbals, and we came up with that shimmering sound that I like and I'd always been hearing and desired, but never had before. So, and I wanted them to be, because cymbals I use a lot of cymbals. I use 18 cymbals on stage. I want it to be very shimmering visually as well. I want it to look like the Northern Lights. I want it to look like auroras. So we came up with a very bright, brilliant finish on them that when the lights hit them and refract off of it, is very beautiful and striking. So it's a very beautiful line, and we have halo rings on them that enhance the sound and the look. They really, really sound striking and different from many other cymbals out there. I'm very proud of them in association with Soul Tone, and I'm looking forward to doing some great things with them. And I have merchandising coming out as well, the Moffett series merchandising. So it's a big, broad adventure with the company, and I'm very happy about it, the union.
You can actually go to their website, soultonecymbals.com, and even on youtube.com, there's a really, it's a really cool ad for yourself in the new cymbal series, and a touching tribute to your buddy Michael Jackson there, which is, I showed some people today. They were really blown away by your playing, and of course the words mentioned about Michael. So youtube.com has it. So I'm not sure, does Soul Tone Cymbals have it up there?
Yes, they have it up there. They're really pushing it in advertising now. It was just, like I said, we just launched it about a week ago. So the press releases went out last Friday. And it's announced now, and it's all full going. And do me a favor, everyone, if you go there to their site, leave a message as to what you think and about the cymbals and your appreciation of them. And that would be great to let them know what your feelings are, and when you hear them and see them, it would be great. A great gesture.
We're gonna get into some music right now. This is from Jonathan Moffett playing drums. And I got to tell you, this is the tour that I saw with the Jacksons at Madison Square Garden. Stacy Lattisaw opened up, and the Triumph tour, amazing tour. You're really knocking out the drums here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was just up there having fun, trying to light some fire under their feet, the Jackson Brothers' feet, and get them to move and dance and hit some choreography moves, accents with them, and basically enjoying my adventure in the music world and being able to and blessed to perform on such a high level. It was a blessing for me and an honor to work with the Jackson family, who is my West Coast family.
Now we're gonna get into Workin' Day and Night, live version of that taken from the double LP, and I got to tell you about that tour. It was just visually and the music was so spot on. You got, how much rehearsal time went into the Triumph tour? You recall?
We did about 2.5 months rehearsal on that tour, particular tour. Normally, that's basically the standard. On the Victory tour, we wound up doing 3.5 months, but normally it's about 2.5 months prep work and organizing things as far as the music and the choreographies and the lights and the sounds and props and everything. So it's a huge undertaking. It takes a lot of hard work. And when I say 2.5 months, we would start off like 8 hours. By the time we get to the end of production rehearsals, we were at back then about 15 hours, 16 hours, through to the next morning, almost. So it was very grueling, work and focus.
Now I got to ask you one question I've been always wanting to ask you about this tour. The song, which was my song at the moment when I went to that show, you guys did not play. Walk Right Now. It was not in the set, right?
No, we didn't do that.
And that was the big song on WBLS and Frankie Crocker back in the day. And I could just remember the show was amazing, but going to Grand Central Station and talking to people who went to the show, we were just like, where was Walk Right Now? So you guys never rehearsed that one?
Never rehearsed that one. We would jam on it at rehearsals because we love the groove on it. In fact, that is one of my favorite songs actually to play, because the groove is undeniable. You can't help but feel that groove, and it's great for me to play. So I was hoping that they would include it in the set, but they have so many hit songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they have to be selective, and that was just another one that got by us.
Right.
And we only have so much time on the stage. Right. But I wish we could have included it. It would be fantastic.
That's for your own solo record when you record that maybe one day.
Well, I am planning on working on a tribute for Michael. I'm going to do an album of Michael's songs and Jackson's songs, and different genres of music, smooth jazz, R&B, but more my record, a drummer record, but keep them close to the originals, but with a different feel, or different my expression on them. And it's like a tribute to Michael, especially, and then the Jacksons. That isn't one of the projects I have in the works very soon, and I'm looking forward to being able to make that expression and of appreciation and love to them.
Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett is our special guest here on WVOF in the Upper Room with Joe Kelley, and he's going to come back. You got time for one more segment?
Sure, I do. I would love to do that.
All right.
Much love to the listeners.
Okay. Jonathan's with us, JonathanSugarfootMoffett.com, and we're going to listen right now live. I believe this was taken from Madison Square Garden, working day and night. Jonathan Moffett, our special guest on drums with the Jacksons live. I think it was, I was looking at some of the comments online about that particular song, and they said the drummer kicks booty. So they they love you. And musicians, when they talk, I think when you got the respect of musicians, and it's got to be a great feeling for yourself when they're talking about your work like that, because everybody's so focused on the front people, but when they're talking about you, that must be awful nice.
Just remind them that I kick booty with love on that song. It's all about love, kicking booty with love, and
right.
I think spirit, not the other kind of kick booty.
Right, exactly.
All in love, and
musically speaking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Jonathan Moffett is with us, and about a year ago, I found out, a good friend of mine, Renard Bossier, from New Orleans, but now makes his home here in Connecticut, is Jonathan's cousin. So all that great musical talent running through all the genes coming out of New Orleans.
Yeah, several members of my family, the extended family. Al McKay, the guitarist for Earth, Wind & Fire. He's one of the lead and main guitarists, original guitarists. He's my cousin as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, several people that have come up, and we have, prominent people in the family, from baseball players in the Black Negro League that were superstars back then, and some Harlem Globetrotters in my family. So we're a pretty spirited group of people, down the line, and we love the arts of all kinds, even including sports and the like,
So who you still follow sports?
I love football. I love football.
Who's your team in the NFL?
I have a lot of good teams I like. That's the thing. I'm torn. I have no one good team.
Oh, okay.
I like a lot of teams, and I'm into the art of things, of every aspect of life, and those who perform well any given day on both teams. One moment, somebody runs back a kickoff on their side, and the next thing you know, there's a long bomb pass. I'm on that team's side. I just love
right.
Whoever does something beautiful, and I'm switching sides like crazy. It is, and I'm cheering for them. And I just don't know how to take sides. I'm just in the art of people doing things well. And but I do have some teams I like. Really, the Titans are one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten on to the Cardinals. I was rooting for them the last Super Bowl. Even I love Pittsburgh, but since they hadn't had it in so long, it would have been a remarkable story, Cinderella story, if they would have taken it. So that's why I'm like soft-hearted too. I'm for the underdog all the time, like a lot of people are.
Yeah, when my team's out. I'm a Giant fan, but when my team's out, I'm always pulling for the underdog. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I like the Giants too. You just named one of my other favorite teams. I love the Giants. They're fantastic, and and I love Dallas because they're Dallas, and something about them is just like chivalry, like Lancelot. They something about that. Everybody across the nation seems to like Dallas or something. I don't know if the star on the helmets or just the color of the uniform. And they got great talent too, but they have to pull it together this year.
See, I can't say the same. I'm a Giant fan. It's tough with Dallas, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, when Dallas make a great play, I'm on their side. When they mess up, then I'm switching jerseys.
Yeah. So Sugarfoot Moffett is with us. His website, Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett, Moffett, and he's with us right now. And his CD, Christmas Again, is going to be released again, Christmas Again, on cdbaby.com. You can go to JonathanSugarfootMoffett.com. Also, MySpace.com/Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett. He's working on a lot of new music. And he mentioned before, down the line, tribute to songs by Michael Jackson and the Jacksons. And, we were talking off air about the beautiful memorial service that you played on just about every song during that service. Take us from, it had to be put together so fast. Since Michael's passing and within a week's time having that, what was the experience like? And we talked off air about some of the moving things that you work in, and the emotions running through you. Take us through preparation and the actual day.
Well, actually, in preparation for the band's sake, it was very. When I look back at it now, hindsight being 2020 and being out from in the middle of it is pretty remarkable because we pulled together the day before the memorial, and we didn't start rehearsing the songs or learning the songs until about 6 or 7 that night before the memorial, and we finished around 11:30. We only had those hours to learn everything you heard and saw on the memorial show. Mm-hmm. So we had to really be professional. We had to really be focused. Everything had to work well and work properly. And we had to have great memories for the music and for the timing of everything. So, but it was for Michael. So we had to rise to the occasion. There was no way we could let Michael down, and we had to be there for him. This was his prime performance, and we had to be the best. And especially me, for having been with Michael for 30 years, I felt like the commander.
Right.
And that was my troops, and I had to do the best show I'd ever done with Michael in the 30 years. And hard as it was very, very difficult. One of the most difficult things I've done in my entire life. To hold it together, I had to, because it was special, the most special show for him. And to me, it meant the world to me to be there and part of that. And I just miss him a whole lot, and I pray for him so deeply and sincerely, and wish he was still here.
You mentioned 30 years with Michael Jackson and his drummer and friend and everything great like that. And, the shows we saw are always a huge spectacle. And I know he must have really been looking forward to knocking the world down again with the This Is It tour. But away from all the big lights and that, did you guys have some moments of just jamming through the years and just real loose stuff and, kicking backstage and just riffing and stuff like that?
Many sound checks that we would do, and you just kick off in some songs of theirs and jam around with it, change the arrangement. Us musicians, sometimes we get out of control at a sound check when it's loose time. We think we got to express some different patterns and things, show off a little bit, so to speak. Uh-huh. And so we would do that, and Mike would be dancing around and, doing just ad-libbing his dance moves, and some of the other brothers as well, and they grab cowbells, tambourines, and join in. And then after a certain period of time, they say, "Okay, that's it, cut, back to normal."
All right.
We got to get the show together. So we had lots of moments like that as well. And sometimes backstage we'll be hanging out talking and talking about prior tours from the past and everything, and how great they want this show to be and how different they want to be and move more people. And we had a lot of great private times with them, with the Jackson brothers and Michael, and from tour to tour, and a lot of wonderful memories I have, and photographs and recordings, and just a wealth of great, wonderful memories and experiences. And I always tell people that I'm a graduate of the Jacksonian Institute, because that's where I started, and which I feel like I am. I started with them 30 years ago, and I learned my professionalism through them, because that was the first professional job I had done in my life. I had just gotten out to Los Angeles 1.5 months beforehand, and came from playing like little nightclubs in New Orleans and on Bourbon Street and everything. And then all of a sudden I'm thrust a month and a half later into the prime entertainer scene, and doing big concert shows with one of the most major influential artists that the world has ever known, the Jacksons and Michael. So it was my school of learning.
And even to this day, a few days ago I was looking on some drummer musician forums, bulletin boards, and it was a conversation going back. Who's got the drum gig for the Michael Jackson This Is It tour? I mean, people were that must be one of the most in demand jobs, and of course Michael calls on you, so as he always did. So honor to yourself and how you guys work together.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is the pinnacle. It is the pinnacle of music and industry and entertainment itself, because Michael wasn't really, people say and always profess that he's the king of pop. He's the king of pop. Michael wasn't the king of pop. Michael was the king of music. Mm-hmm. He was the king of music and entertainment, period. And you look across the incident, I don't think they even envisioned that could be, because he was making basically many movies with all his songs. Mm-hmm. Not just an expression of the song. He was trying to create films, many films. And he succeeded very well in doing that. You know, he changed the face of music. He changed the face of video. He brought MTV to prominence as well as VH1. He's way more effective than, he's way stronger than the title King of Pop. He's the King of Music and the greatest entertainer that has ever come to live, and we will never, ever see another one. There's only Michael. There's one. And that was Michael Jackson.
Yeah, well said by his big brother, Mr. Jonathan Moffett. And once again, we want to direct our listeners here at WVOF to Jonathan's sites, JonathanSugarfootMoffett.com, Drum Network /JonathanMoffett.com, and MySpace.com /JonathanSugarfootMoffett. The new M series, Cymbals, Jonathan Moffat's new series, collaboration with Soul Tone Cymbals. And you can go to their website, soultonecymbals.com, and you can go there and check out a really nice promo, a video for the Cymbals, and Jonathan's touching message, his thoughts about Michael Jackson. And, I'm sure there's so many things in discussion yet to be done, but, I'm sure there'll be more tributes that you'll be involved with as far as concerts and maybe even some recordings for Michael, associated with his passing and the love for the world for Michael. So keep us posted on that. We're going to have you on the show again. We'd love to have you on the show.
It'll be a pleasure of mine as well. There's a lot of things planned, and the brothers are talking about some things. So there's some things out there on the horizon. Janet's working on a new album. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I heard Janet's doing some stuff with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis again, maybe.
Yeah, that's great. That's really happy. I'm glad that she rejoined with them, and I think they have a formula like the Coke formula, and I think it works. And I think it will be very successful. And I love her very much, and she's little sister, and I'm very proud of her. And I worked with her in the '93-'94 tour, and I hope to work with her again. And even if I don't, I'm still behind her 100%. Nothing but love for the Jackson family, all of them.
And nothing's wrong with Christmas in July. We're holding up the CD to our closed-circuit TV cameras here at WVOF. Jonathan Moffat's Christmas Again, remastered and better than ever. You can go to cdbaby.com. You're going to have it up there. And we'll have you around holiday season once again to talk about the great record. And a quick question before we get into one final song of Christmas Again. I know as a drummer, such a physically demanding instrument. After a show, how about coming down and recouping from playing the drums? I mean, you got 18 cymbals in your kit, so tell us about how long it takes you to recover and move on to the next city strong as ever.
After a show, it usually takes me 4 hours to come down from the energy and the frenzy of power and focus and intensity that I build up during a show. I can't sleep for like 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours now. So, and then I get some sleep and it's on to the next day. Right. But when you're in the focus of the moment, that's how you build up that intensity and that energy. That's the way I work, and every show is like I give it all, and like it's my last show, and I give every drop of energy that I have to make the people feel it in their seats and make them move and equate the emotion that I'm trying to express and through the music. And it's done on a concert stage through power. And the drummer has to be powerful, and that's what I try to convey through my beats and the music, my performance.
All right, well said, and always nice to have Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett on. This is from Christmas Again, and thanks again, Jonathan.
May I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Please, I'm asking everyone to say a prayer for Michael, Spirit, and for Mother, who's going through a truly unprecedented traumatic experience, and my love to Mother, and say a prayer for the Jackson family all.
All right. This is Jonathan Moffat's from Christmas Again, and it's entitled Little Drummer Boy. Thanks so much, Jonathan.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you.